Look, I wanted to talk a bit about, let's say, your project that you started. Can you tell me when?
In 2021?
In 2021? It's been 3 years already. Yes, from this moment. So it turns out that your whole story has been divided into several stages, and at the same time you had, let's say, an initial launch attempt that ended up with black swans, and after that accordingly the second launch, which in essence is quite recent. Can you briefly tell us about the project, specifically who it's aimed at and what exactly it addresses? What pain or need does it solve?
Well, our project, defining our target audience, no black swans. We define our audience as all people who have a passport. Black swans. We define our audience as all people who have a passport. Got it. Right now we define our audience as probably everyone who has left Russia or has the opportunity to leave Russia in order to participate in yachting.
Just to clarify, is this only for Russian or Russian-speaking audiences?
Russian-speaking audiences. We also have Ukrainians in the projects, as well as Belarusians, Ukrainian suppliers and Ukrainian clients. The Russian-speaking market, we consciously chose this audience because I know it well and love it. It's familiar and close to home, with understandable consumer habits. But the main goal of our project is to make booking a spot on a yacht as easy as buying a plane ticket. This is how we formulated it for ourselves. So, you want to participate in a regatta, a cruise, training, or a delivery. You just open booking.com in the world of yachting, choose the country, date, type of activity, and hit the search button. That's it. It gives you a list of events that take place in the place you need at the time you need. You make your choice, click another book button, and go sailing. I understand the question is why no one has done this yet, because it seems like an obvious idea. But let's start with the fact that many people have tried and are trying to do this. So a lot of people have gone down this path, and moreover, the fact that there have been many is somewhat of a negative point for us, because captains are already cautious about such projects. Ah, they came here before you. Another one. Come on, let's take a look. The plus side is that there are more and more captains. They are all still optimists. They believe in the best. Of course, we believe that we will succeed. We are the best. The most challenging part was when we realized that we don't have a yachting project. When we started it, we thought that we were a yachting project. We were doing yachting. And it was at that moment when we realized that this is a marketing project. It relates to yachting, but it's not yachting in its pure form. That's when our positioning changed, and everything changed. That's when our positioning changed, and everything changed. Everything changed. Everything changed. Marketing changes everything. Everything changed. Marketing changes everything. Yeah, praise the marketers, damn it. Okay, so how did you come to this as a project? And when did it happen that you thought, we need to do this? Well, at first I was working on a project whose main goal was to recruit captains. The pain point for captains is that they have to fly from place to place every week for new bookings. And the pain point for clients is that they have to pay for the captain's flights.
Am I right in understanding that this was your pain point as well?
Of course, I'm big, I'm 2 meters tall, and flying in these economy classes with 2 layovers and arriving tired just to take over that yacht, it's a painful pain actually.
I understand why you chose a yacht.
Here it is. And also, clients save money. They don't buy you a direct flight in business class. They book you like this. You fly from Croatia through Copenhagen to Greece. Absolutely serious. So in order to effectively address this pain point, I came up with a project that was also called IMSkipper, where clients could find a captain in the country where they wanted to hold their events, and comprehensive. And everyone felt good about it. Win-win strategy. To test my hypothesis, I first made an Excel spreadsheet and had my captain friends tell me where they were. I entered this into Excel spreadsheet. I simply provided this information to consumers and created the impression that I was the boss of the captains. I had a lot of captains in my database. I would always find them all for you.
That's essentially what's under the hood of the startup.
Any startup needs to be sold, you know? Sell, and sell yourself too. At one of the regattas, I got to talking with a guy from some business community in Moscow. Although he's from St. Petersburg, I think. But it doesn't matter. Some business community. We were sailing on yachts. A young man asked me what I do. I told him. He says it's an interesting story. Let's write this app. I invested some money. We wrote this app. While we were in the process, the idea came up for the captains not only to write where they are, but also how many free spots they have on board. And the project transformed. But that's when those black swans showed up. A special military operation began. And we launched on the market on February 10th, 2022. Right on time, huh? Really right on time? And on February 22, we decided that we would shut down because we had a lot of irrelevant proposals in the project. First of all the Ukrainians immediately canceled their projects and events. And with the visa issues, many became unfeasible. To avoid trading in air and unverified products, we decided it was better to shut down. I mourned.
So how long did you shut down for?
From February to May, lasting from February to May.
Okay, here's an unconventional question. What was going on in your head during those 3 months?
During those 3 months, I was writing business plans, I was drafting investment proposals, and I was creating presentations for this project. And I was looking for where to attract an investor to re-enter the market. And in May, I found such an investor. In June, he already transferred money to me, and the project got a new lease on life. We already gave it a more or less decent look. It stopped being completely rural. Well, it's still a bit rural now, but back then it was completely rural.
Can you give some kind of mini guide on how to find an investor? From your perspective, because for many people this picture is very different and your experience is unique in this sense.
Listen, there are actually 1.5 million videos on the internet about how to attract an investor.
Now that's what I understand. This is a matter of experience because it's valuable.
You shouldn't sell numbers in Excel to an investor. Investors have a saying, Excel can handle anything. So they've already seen 1.5 million of these numbers. If it's a professional investor, they get presented with some project for consideration every day.
Even a bunch.
Yes, and he doesn't. Just look at the numbers in Excel. Well, of course, they'll skim through it and read it. Everyone says that investors love numbers, but in reality, investors look at the people they are investing in. And if they understand that, yes, this person will do what they say, even if it's not on time or within budget, but they will get it done, then they will make a positive investment decision.
Give me 3 or 5 parameters of what a person should be like, or at least what they should show to the investor so that, say, there's a checkbox.
The first thing is that a person must be competent in what they do. A person must understand what they are doing. A person must have a plan that they are following. The plan should not only be personal, but also include the plan for his company and development strategy. A person must be able to express all of this clearly. Pitch is a very important component, and everyone does it differently. You should have your own unique style, but it needs to stand out from others. You have to find a way to distinguish yourself in the crowd of candidates. I start talking about yachting. You know, I love yachting. People see that I love yachting. They understand that I know what I'm doing, and they give me money.
By the way, sorry, the channel is called Why Yachts? Why Yachts? Because that's the main question, you know, when everyone around me asks, like, what's so special about it? So I actually wanted to create a channel that answers the question of what's so special about it.
And out of all the investors brought in, 100% of the people have been on yachts and they like yachting. So I also found people who are interested in this project, not just for the numbers and potential dividends, but because the project resonates with something deep within them. These are the main factors.
So let's say if a person, an investor, is into fishing and you bring them a project about fishing, that's 1 plus out of 3, which accordingly...
If an investor loves to eat well, and you bring them a project about a restaurant, they're like, oh, I'll go there and eat delicious food.
Okay, great. 3 points that can help attract investments. And probably another interesting point is, how do you find these people? So again, from my experience, because there are a ton of methods out there.
Listen, I won't tell you a lot of methods. I'll share just one. Investors go to regattas.
Right.
Catching an investor at a regatta is a really cool story because they literally have nowhere to go on the boat you're on together. And you have time not for an elevator pitch, right? You know, that concept of 30 seconds to pitch your project while you're in an elevator, and you have a whole week to spend with them on the yacht. Participation in such specialized investor regattas is, as a rule, more expensive than in ordinary ones. But believe me, you will spend less money on finding an investor than if you send it out to angel platforms, to all the others. Just go there, find interested people, grab them by the button and don't let go.
Okay, great.
Let me promote something. There's a community called 100 Captains. These are the guys from Skolkovo. The spiritual inspirer of this project is Renat Batirov, who is the director of the Skolkovo Technopark, and they constantly organize investor regattas. You need to go to these regattas. We have them in our project and we promote them too.
Fire, 2 integrations with me, just...
You see, I'm constantly selling something.
Yeah, very natural. Super. Actually, the sun that's already roasting me here is telling me it's time to wrap up, so thank you so much for your time. I hope our cameras caught everything.